And what does it mean? The humble will inherit the earth. The earth. Let's look at that in Psalm chapter 37, verse 11.
Yes.
And here I'm going to ask you to open up the Bible. The Talmud. No, it's the Jewish Annotated. Do you have that book? You didn't bring that?
That's on the computer.
Okay, I got that here.
Yes.
So the Jewish Annotated New Testament comments on this. But first, can you read Psalm 37, verse 11?
Okay. It says here, and I'm reading the NASB, but the humble will inherit the land and will delight themselves in abundant prosperity.
All right, so here's what it says in the Jewish Annotated New Testament on page 10. It says, let's see, in terms of content as well, the Beatitudes draw upon scriptural precedent. For example, blessed are the poor in spirit, and blessed are those who mourn, may be dependent on Isaiah 61, 1 through 3, which also speaks to the poor and those who mourn. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth, is a near quotation of Psalm 37, 11. Then they say, the Hebrew of the Psalm speaks of inheriting the land, Aretz, which should be taken as a reference to the land of Israel. The Septuagint, and hence the New Testament, reads ge, that's the Greek word ge, which could be translated as either land or earth. The reading of earth served to de-Judaize Jesus. I'm going to read that again. The reading of earth, according to the Jewish Annotated New Testament, serves to de-Judaize Jesus by disconnecting him from any specific concern for the land of Israel. Wow. So, wow.
Yeah.
So I read that and I thought, okay, I mean, no, that's ridiculous. That doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
I mean, the word "ge" is just a translation of the Hebrew Eretz, and I thought, all right, well, let's see.
So you're going to disagree with the?
Absolutely.
You're going to disagree with the Jewish Annotated.
So look, sometimes I think, especially in today's society, people get kind of oversensitized to. I'll give you an example. Last night I'm at the hotel, and there's this gentleman who checks us in. It says on his little label, his name is Muhammad. And he says, that first name of yours, how do you pronounce that? I said, Nehemia. He said, is that and he has this look in his face like, is that a Jewish name? And I don't think he was trying to be offensive, right? I could have been offended and said, okay, you're Muslim and you're asking me about my name. Okay, he's curious.
Right.
What's wrong with that? I have no problem with that.
You didn't call his manager?
Not at all. I think he's curious. And he said, oh, so you pronounce the H as a ch. I said, yes. And I know in Arabic, there's two letters, ch and ha. So he doesn't know if it's Nehemia or Nehemia. Right? That's what he's asking, right? I'm not offended by that.
Okay.
I could have been oversensitized and said, I've been persecuted.
Yeah.
And then he sent us to a bad room that had problems with it. So I was a little suspicious. But no,
Nehemia, most rooms are bad for you. Come on, how many? You know, it's hard to find the right room.
Well, in any event, so I wasn't going to be sensitive about it and think he's trying to offend me or something like that, or he's trying to harm me. I think he was curious, and I think here they're being a little bit oversensitive to how this word "get" is being used. And I looked up to see. So, for example, Exodus 23, verse 20 translates taking possession of the land. What word does it use? It uses the word "get." Right? 1 Samuel 13:19 translates the phrase Eretz Yisrael, land of Israel, as Get Israel. Right? So I think they're kind of playing the anti-Semitism card here, where there's plenty of places where anti-Semitism
and
is
you're saying you don't
place.
think it exists?
It definitely exists, not in this case.
In this situation, you're saying
they're
it doesn't
just translating mechanically. Okay. This word translates this way, right? Eretz is get, right? They're not thinking about it. Now, maybe they're making the point that you translating as earth versus land is intended to be to disconnect the statement from the land of Israel. I don't think that's the case. I don't think in the Psalms or in Matthew 5:5 the intention was necessarily, or even at all, that if you do these things, you're going to come and inherit the land of Israel. Maybe in a sense, yes. Meaning we have this idea in Judaism, which is derived from certain statements in the Torah. I don't think we'll have time to get into today, but I think we'll get into it in a future episode. And it's this idea that in the future time, we're not floating around on wings in heaven. We're resurrected, and we take possession of the land of Israel. So in that sense, yes. And you have this phrase in Judaism of that period which is those who have portion in the world to come and those who don't have a portion. And the word for portion is nachala, which is an inherited piece of land of Israel. Right? So in that respect, maybe yes, but the word get has nothing to do with that, right?